think that'll do.
Didn't somebody say that some famous director directed Babe?
Oh,
Yeah, George fucking
Yeah.
Miller.
George Miller, yes.
George
fucking
Miller.
Mad Max.
Guy who
George.
created
Road.
Mad Max.
Oh
Fucking
my
wrote
God.
Babe in the City. He wrote both of the Babe movies, and there was another one too.
He
I looked it up
probably
later.
funded the fucking Fury Road with Babe money. Fucking pig money.
Miller. Hold on. There was another one or two movies that he fucking wrote that were like, I was like, what?
Hey, man. That's like me fucking DJing a goddamn
Oh,
high school
Happy
prom.
Happy Feet
yeah,
1 and
Happy
2.
Feet.
Wow.
With the fucking the penguins. Yeah.
That's impressive, actually. But you know what? Like, that's probably where he's making his real bank.
Dude, he went from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 85, Lorenzo's Oil in 92, which was like a straight up drama, and then Babe in 95.
Because he
And
had
then
kids,
Babe
man.
Taking the City. I don't give a
That's
fuck
true.
if I had kids. I wouldn't be writing. Come on.
He had kids, man.
This dude wrote Mad Max.
Yeah. And then he had a baby girl, and he said,
Yeah,
"You know,
but you know what? He's not a heartless father like you, Mystic.
yeah,
He should be.
He should be. Everybody should be like Mystic. Speaking of which, tonight on the Red Eye Report, we're going to talk about the recent pager pandemonium in Lebanon this last week. All while we watch Oracle look on the floor for his balls.
Where are my balls?
Next to him is Mystic. He don't give a shit about where his balls are. He's had enough children.
I don't have them anymore.
Yeah, right? They're old enough. Yeah. Well, you don't want another one, do you?
I don't have balls anymore.
Oh, you don't? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
So
they're in your mom's.
Oh.
She took them as trophies.
That's right. That's right. So the pager bomb didn't hurt you. And then we have Teddy. He actually saved his balls because the pager message, when it went off, said, "Hot Craigslist hose near you." And he's just like, fuck, he threw it out the window.
fall for that again.
Exactly.
Oh wait,
And I'm the Ashtray. I did lose my testicles because I paused for those Craigslist hoes. And this is Reddit Report.
They'll teach you. That's
Mm-hmm.
straight from Jesus.
Straight from Jesus or Netanyahu. All right, before we get into our main topic, take our little weekly pause for the cause nonprofit fundraising mission for the Dane County Humane Society. This is once again Muhammad, the Hezbollah hog, not to be confused with the Gaza hog from like 11 months ago. But they have a similar refugee situation, so please donate your money to Red Eye Report's Venmo.
We promise it will make it to the Dane County Humane Society.
110% proceeds go to the Dane County Humane Society. That's because it's Teddy's Venmo. He's always wondering, why am I fucking low on money? Anyways, moving on to our main topic. Anyone paying attention to the news has heard, I think this happened, well, okay, September 17th was the date. It's like 9 days ago now. Yeah, it's the 26th. Basically, in Lebanon, Hezbollah, for those who don't know, are kind of like the group that runs Lebanon. They're kind of inseparable now from the government, and they were born out of the fact of they were like the one group standing up to Israel, especially in like the 80s and stuff when Israel invaded Lebanon. And interestingly, I actually had a coworker. This is like 16, 17 years ago. Her family's from Lebanon. And this is back, like, I remember they were having strife back then. And I was like, one of those like questions where like I probably shouldn't have asked. But I'm like, how do you feel about Hezbollah? And she's like, oh, me and my like my mom and my sister, like, we fucking hate them. But our dad, like, he sees Hezbollah as like the only people who would stand up to Israel. You know, and like there are plenty of people like her father, even though they left the region to America to escape all that fucking shit. So Hezbollah and Israel have been going at it for a while now. I think 2006 was the last actual like war they had where they were actively striking Lebanon. But on September 17th of this year, all of a sudden, all these people who are, for the most part, they were not Taliban. I'm getting my groups wrong. Hezbollah operatives, or the thing is, though, Hezbollah has become like the government. So there's a lot of people involved with Hezbollah who maybe aren't the ones who are deciding where to shoot the rockets, right? They're going about their day, and all of a sudden, their pagers go off. And they look, and it's like, oh, it's a message from Hezbollah. You know, it's like, you about to die, bitch. I don't know what, they never said what the message was, but like it was made to look like a Hezbollah page. And they pull out their pager and it exploded in their hands. Or some people didn't pull it out. It was still in their pockets. And that's what the intro jokes about finding our balls is, because there were hundreds of people who have lost their testicles because their pager was in their front pocket.
Did they replace the pager with explosives, or did they just like another pager?
So yeah, this is the thing. This it's kind of a whole new level of state terrorism if you think about it. Like sure, you know, Russia has been doing some shady shit where they're like putting like nerve agents, you know, taking out old spies and stuff. But this is where the state, and of course they've Mossad is not, or the Israeli government or military has never, they basically just said like, oh, we've got a new age of war. And they're kind of like, we're going to step up this pressure on Hezbollah. So because a whole bunch of Israelis on the border, the thing too is people, they think about the war in Gaza, but they don't realize is ever since 11 months ago when Gaza attacked Israel, and then Israel has been stomping the shit out of them. Hezbollah, at the same time, has been firing rockets over the northern border of Israel. So all those people who live up there have been evacuated for almost a year. The thing is, though, this pager thing happened, like, and we don't really know yet because it's still less than, or just like a week plus old. We don't fully know, other than just what some little bit of leaks people have put together. So to give the full rounding of just the first 2 days, there was September 17th when the pagers all went off. 12 people were killed, but more than 3,000 people were wounded, because there's roughly about 5,000 pagers that were compromised through the supply chain. 2 children out of that dozen people died. You know, one was like a kid who's like, my dad's pager's on the coffee table or whatever, and like heard the pager going off and like picked it up, like it's buzzing. Boom. The next day, September 18th, walkie-talkies across, and imagine too, like this is why this is like a whole new level of state terror, where if Hezbollah is the government, essentially, and they're trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, so they're all using their walkie-talkies within the next 24 hours because pagers started blowing up. Then the walkie-talkies go off in their face. 25 people were killed and over 600 were injured on the next day. Now think about the kind of psychological terror that creates, where it's not just like one person. It's like, oh, we bugged, this one operative's phone, like, because Israel's been doing that for decades. Like setting up a bomb in someone's phone, like even that, what was it? Was it Spielberg who did that film about basically Israel taking out all the people who did that hostage situation. It was like Munich or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in there where this guy is like, oh, he like answers his hotel phone, and then like you kind of see from the outside the whole room just. They've been doing
Well,
that for years.
that was a true story, though.
It was a true story, and so is what we're talking about today.
No, I'm just
Oh.
saying, like, you the way you said it was like he made the shit up or something.
Oh
But-
no, that's not what I meant. I just was saying like we've known. My point being that we've known that Israel has done this kind of like James Bond, like we're gonna plant a fucking bomb when we find out where you're at.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they're not the only ones, you know? I mean, there's
Sure.
no way.
but this is the first time any state has done like a calculated 1,000 plus, like 5,000
Yeah.
pager bombs, and it's
Honestly,
not
that's
like.
why I like them. That's why I like them.
Yep. See, and that's the thing too, is like it's amazing how there's that much like praise for it, but man, imagine if Hezbollah pulled off something like that.
Oh,
it
yeah,
would be,
right.
Oh God, no, just terrorists.
The
And
thing is they don't have there's very few governments, I think, that can pull off something like that.
oh sure,
Hezbollah is not one of them. And
yeah. So
I hate that people are like, oh, they're standing up to dude. It's like an ant trying to fucking stand up to a human. Like Israel is just
sure.
they
But when
are
you have
the-
nothing to lose, man, that's the
well,
thing.
then
Is
you're
like
gonna fucking then innocent people are gonna die. They need to think about the people in their fucking country. Not we're gonna stand up to them.
they already believe that the people in their country are already going to die. That's the thing. It's like that's the point where
Oh,
they're at.
Then I don't feel bad for them at all. Fuck them.
Right, because they're you don't live there. Also, like I could see like if I was in that position, and also like a scenario like this. Imagine like the kid who had to watch his father's balls be blown off in front of him. His father survived, but was never the same. Like,
Yeah, 'cause the balls
you
are-
think that's gonna build any sort of,
Well,
like
no, they're
these,
creating
like,
more
I wanna work
fucking.
the- yes,
Yeah,
they're
they're creating more fucking people that
fucking
hate them. Sure.
terrorists that they will.
But if they
call.
kill them all, then there won't be anyone to hate them anymore. I
Well, it
suppose.
never
But
works that
all-
easily, Mystic.
Also, Israel is not invading fucking Lebanon.
Oh,
right.
Lebanon is its
You
own
haven't-
sovereign nation.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like everything's pointing that way. They
Well,
moved
now
2 brigades to the border. Yeah.
Now, after fucking, they've been poking the bear. I mean,
They've been firing rockets into that country for fucking decades.
right?
Like just randomly firing rockets into fucking Israel. Give me a fuck. I just at what point does Israel just lose their shit, which is what's happening right now?
Well, yeah, you
know
could
what I
say
mean?
they're losing their shit, but also it's contested even within Israel. So let's give some background here. In February 13th of this year, the Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah basically told all of the Hezbollah, followers and supporters that like your mobile phones are just as dangerous as an Israeli spy. You should bury them, break them, or lock them in an iron box. I don't know if iron blocks signals, maybe. But then Hezbollah, and because it is used by many countries as a more, it's an easier form of communication, even if, say, your enemy starts to take out some of your cellular networks, is to use pagers. Like they run a simpler transmission system. So they started investing in a shit ton of pagers. Well, they roughly think that about 5,000 or so were bought from this company. Basically, the pagers, once they start blowing up, everybody's like, what brand pager is this? Gold
Nah.
Apollo. It's a Taiwanese company. But it turns out, so like, imagine, and there's like even video of the CEO being like, we had nothing to do with it. Like, we don't know what the fuck. Imagine being running
Right.
that company, and all of a sudden, all your pagers blow up and,
Yeah.
are maiming, killing thousands of people.
You're
Yeah.
actually
You
in a
don't have a
meeting,
company anymore.
right? You're
Yeah.
in a meeting with a bunch of fucking Hezbollah
Oh, yeah, he had-
fucking
you know he
guys with
didn't see
this
coming.
AK-47s.
Did not see this coming.
Ugh.
So it turns out though that Gold Apollo has they do license their designs and technology to other firms. One of these firms was BAC Consulting, based out of Hungary. Turns out that we believe it's now an Israeli shell company. So BAC Consulting was actually physically making pagers, and they were selling legit pagers to other contracts and countries as well. But a specific batch of about 5,000 in 2022, actually, they started shipping them to Lebanon. And then once this year, when their leader was like, bury your smartphones, like they're as bad as a spy, they really ratcheted it up. And so basically Israel made their own pager manufacturing company, licensed the technology, like how to make pagers, from this Taiwanese company, and then put bombs. They don't really know yet. One theory is that it could have been, there's 2 batteries that go in these pagers based on the ounce of what they were reporting the explosive was. It could have been just the size of that other like rechargeable battery, where they would replace one battery, or they're not even really altering the design. They're replacing one battery with like a smart bomb battery. Just waiting for a signal.
That's
the
awesome.
thing is, what happened then though was and this similar thing happened with another company called ICOM. It's a Japanese walkie-talkie manufacturer. And they're like, well, we had nothing to do with this. Turns out the model of walkie-talkies that Hezbollah was using was a model that this ICOM Japanese company discontinued 10 years ago. So like Israel probably just like found it on the dark web or something,
This off of like Tamu or something.
Yeah, or they're
right.
probably spying on Japan, too. Like Mossad's probably got their fingers anywhere they can put them. And so if it's a discontinued design from a decade ago, it might have been easy to find, and we'll just start a company to make these. And so they made all these walkie-talkies to blow up the next day. The thing is, the theory though, because of course no one's officially said anything, but of course only Israel could pull something like this off. They feel the theory is that it was a kind of use it or lose it, tactic, I guess, if you want to call it. The thing is, they went through all this trouble to create these manufacturers, and then somehow get people on the inside of Hezbollah to buy these pagers and walkie-talkies. There were reports where some of these people at Hezbollah like, this fucking pager ain't working right. Like something, like they were kind of like getting a lot of basically like warranty called, whatever you want to call it. Like, hey, you said this is good for 3 years. Like, this fucker is not responding right or whatever. And so people inside Mossad were getting nervous that like Hezbollah is going to figure this out. Like, if they start actually like, what the fuck is wrong with this pager, and actually take it apart.
Yeah, didn't they? Open it up, like maybe the batteries are dead.
Right.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing too, is that battery thing is just one theory.
Okay.
The whole other theory could be, if you've already set up a manufacturing company, you could easily figure out a way just to shift a cavity in that initial design and be like, here's where we're going to stick a bomb.
Absolutely.
That's true. A pager is fucking big, and so is a walkie-talkie.
Oh,
too.
walkie-talkie, yeah, even bigger. And the walkie-talkies, have killed more people.
And you don't need a lot of explosive to fucking kill, especially where do you carry pagers? Around your
they
hip
said it
or
was
waist?
only like
Something
like 20 to 22 ounce like amount of
all you
C4
need to
or
do is
whatever
blow
kind of
a ball
explosive.
off.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing, is the goal. So the theory is that this mission or operation has been in play for 2+ years. And the point was that it was going to be a first strike initiative for Israel going to war with Lebanon. Is that like, as things heat up and we're about to go to war, we're going to blow all their pagers and walkie-talkies up. and compromise the people who are using them, because those are the ones who are, in theory, going to be orchestrating the defense. But because they were worried that Hezbollah was going to catch on to this plot because their pagers weren't working properly, it was kind of like, we either use it or lose it.
just
Like, they're going
win
to
it,
discover
yeah.
it, and it's like, fuck it. Because there's reports that there are plenty of people in the Israeli Defense Department that are like, this was not the time where we planned to do this. Like, this was supposed to be before we strike.
Dude, that would
Not
have
just
been
like, let's
fucking-
just do it now because
Can you
we're afraid to
imagine
lose.
if it had been that coordinated, where they're like, "All right, tanks are rolling in, boom, thousands
yeah.
of fucking pagers could, blow testicles off of these commanding officers." Holy
Oh,
fuck!
sure. I mean, the
Like that's the fucking shit.
you
dude.
can't deny the fact that it is like a very effective form of like terrorizing your enemy, especially if it was
Sure.
right before you were to roll in with tanks.
Absolutely.
But now it's kind of one of they feel like,
Basically taking their infrastructure out without taking their infrastructure out.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
The people
But
that are
now
funding
it's kind of like, well, we got to use this now, or they're going to find out and scrap all these, and we won't get this chance. And so they said, fuck it, let's hit the ball explosion button.
Tell me, you know damn well there was a bunch of Mossad guys just sitting around laughing when these things went off too.
Oh, I'm
Like
sure.
just watching some monitors.
I mean, if you were the person like orchestrating that plan, you know they were reveling in the fact it worked.
just lopping fucking testicles off.
So,
Pop.
oh, here's another note. Like, basically, one thing. So, Netanyahu has basically said that, like, we're going to keep the pressure, like, we're not going to let the pressure off of Lebanon until we can return our citizens. There's about 70,000 Israelis. And then you have to keep in mind, too, that, like, yes, we want to get our civilians back home. But, of course, like, the, Palestinians are like, that ain't even your fucking land, like, of course they're going to keep firing rockets over. But even like, so of course the United States and allies are like, all right, let's cool our tits, motherfuckers. We need a 21-day ceasefire. And Netanyahu's like, like, we don't need no ceasefire. It's like, yeah, because they had actually just the other day, they had a 4-wave airstrike where they had 250 fighter jets in the air.
Damn.
Yeah, and like, because on the map, you see Israel's not that big. And I mean, Lebanon's not too much bigger. But when you think about 250 fighter jets, like, dropping bombs in that area, they dropped over 2,000 bombs on
Jesus
Lebanon.
Christ.
Yes. And Israel's like, hey,
they're so
we
fucked.
warned
The Middle
Israel,
East is fucked.
Israel, hacked their, cell system or whatever, and basically, like, sent everyone's cell phone and stuff a message saying that. And even Netanyahu got on camera and said, it's like, we told him, like, if there's missiles in your living room or bombs in your garage, like, you are not safe. You need to leave. And then just like indiscriminate bombing of civilian areas. And yes, Hezbollah has weapons in civilian areas. So it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, how many people, the thing is, like, think of how many civilians probably don't realize that maybe the top roof of this apartment building does actually have missiles. We're not
Right.
allowed up there. Like, we don't have a key or whatever. It's like they don't know, like, yeah, we're sitting under a missile supply. There you go. I mean, was the other, so another thing that happened even since this pager bomb, and that's the thing too, is everyone now is speculating, like, if they put bombs in these pagers, they probably put little tiny GPS units. And also, if they probably have a way where they were tracking all of the data coming through those pagers, and it wouldn't take long when you're following the narrative of the information to figure out, okay, this pager is sending out orders to all the, like, this
Right.
is a pager
Absolutely.
belonging to someone higher up. Even if a name isn't specifically used, but if you also have a little GPS tag in that pager, you know where to drop those bombs.
Mm.
And so he was basically the Mujahid leaders, in quotations, was Haj Abu Musa. He was Ibrahim Muhammad Boubazi, if I got that right.
Jesus Christ. Just
He was the guy who orchestrated. He was the top dog as far as running the missile operation, where they fire all these missiles that they get from Iran, and they're not smart, but they fire a shit ton at a time, and then the Iron Dome has to try to knock them out of the sky. Doesn't get them all, but this is the guy who was orchestrating that operation. Apparently, and probably because they also selectively decided after watching these pagers, they probably just hit the kill switch to the lower, 75%. And then they kept track on those upper ones that they knew were the ones giving out the orders. Because one of these guys went to the hospital to go visit some poor friend who got his balls blown off. And by that visit, they then, and maybe they were listening through the pager, who knows? Like, we don't know just what kind of extra surveillance they had in these devices. But they then tracked that guy leaving the hospital, and maybe based on the conversation knew that he was going to be going back to this guy who's like the head missile guy, and went back to visit him. And they're like, okay, that's where he's at. They dropped all their bombs and killed him.
Which would have been even more epic if they had done it all at once.
Done what all at once? Like blowing off balls and...
I mean, it was within a week.
What they planned. Well,
yeah,
but what I mean is like what
That's
they
still pretty
planned.
close.
Because they could...
You're talking about if they've done it as an actual invasion plot?
Right. Detonate the lower 75%, like you said, and the upper ones, you don't detonate them, but the bombers are already on their way to their locations because you know where they're at.
Yeah, like you can see in these clips here, too, where it's like, that's the thing, the walkie-talkies started going off. Like, some of them went off and killed people while they're at a funeral for the pager bombings the next day.
Christ.
Yeah. And it's like, imagine the psychological, like, distrust and kind of
that's
terror.
what this is. This is psychological terrorism.
It is.
I mean, physical too, obviously,
like,
but
yeah, but also if you're that person who was in the grocery store next to that guy, like you didn't get hurt,
right?
But, if any of you been around where like some big fucking thing goes off, like your nervous system's like, that's fucking traumatic, especially to see a guy laying there with his balls blown off. Like, man, I bet you Putin is like jealous. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, dude, Russia fucks everything up that they do.
Right?
Like every fucking like bombing. You remember watching that thing where that journalist they fucked his death up when they tried to kill him with that fucking Navalny.
Yes.
Like Russia just fucks shit up, man. They might be tough, but they're fucking kind of dumb. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, that's the thing too, is like all these inside reporters too are saying that like of course like the CIA and like US agencies have already thought of this idea.
Right.
But they're like, man, the implications that come with it, like it's not worth the risk.
That's what I'm saying. At what point does Israel lose their shit? Which is what they've done. They're like, fuck it.
You're right.
Fuck it. You're done. We're not fucking stopping.
How far till where we're like, you know what? You're just like Hitler, Israel, who keeps saying never again, never again. Right? Look what you become.
Yeah, you become what you despise, I suppose.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, remember Stuxnet? We did an episode on that years ago. That was that crazy computer virus that like kind of keeps like self-replicating and getting everywhere. And it was like kind of, at least from what the unofficial leaks were, that from former CIA people, it was like kind of cooperatively built between the US and Israel, but the US was like, oh, we gotta be like super careful with this, and Israel's like, fuck it, they just like put it in Iran's centrifuges, and then it just kept spreading where it's like it's everywhere now.
Jews are crazy, man.
They don't, crazy. Never again. Oh, we've done it again.
Whoops, we did it again.
We killed a whole race. We're genociders. Da-da-da-da-da. All right. That's a good note to move along to our What's Sexy section. Oracle, Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah. So I've been getting into some emulation stuff lately. Decided to fire up Beyond Good and Evil, which is a game I had never played. I had heard things about it. So you're on this like alien planet or whatever, and you're this kind of pixie character woman.
Is this an old game that you...
Yeah, it's old game. It came out in like 2003.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, you go around and there's this really imaginative kind of open world thing with all this exploration, and you have this hovercraft thing, and there's these characters. It's you kind of always have like one other person with you to kind of help you get through the puzzles and whatnot. And it's
just like PlayStation 2.
This is GameCube. It might have came out on
GameCube,
PlayStation 2. Now, this is not video from what I'm playing at 4K, so it looks a lot better than what this does.
I assume it's been remastered.
It has. Well, I'm not playing the remastered version, but there is a remastered version. But it's just it's a good game. It's a really good game. And just, I don't know. I love it when they're able to build this kind of believable fucking universe or whatever, this place that you're existing in, where it's just so imaginative and kind of novel and cool, that you love being in it. But these older games, I'm gravitating towards these older games because they're smaller than modern games. Modern games are too fucking big for me. That's why
I don't play them anymore.
Yeah, it's just too much. I don't want to fucking engage with it. And the thing is it's all filler in a lot of these newer games too. It's like, okay, we'll do the same fucking task over and over and over again.
Right, for a different looking fucking poor guy down on his luck.
Yeah. But this one, this is kind of like, I'm sure the inspiration for a lot of modern open world games, what they became, after that. But it's just a really tight, cool, imaginative experience. So there is a remastered version. I think it's come out already. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it has. I am playing this on Cemu, which is the emulator for GameCube on PC. And that's quite good. So, Beyond Good and Evil. Pretty neat.
Nice. A novel way to waste your time from Oracle.
Neato!
All right, moving along to Mystic, Paleface Swiss.
This is a band I've known about probably no more than a year. Obviously, they're from Switzerland. But this video right here specifically is their new single. I don't know that the song is that incredible. I mean, it's a good song, but the first minute of this video is one of the most unsettling things I've ever fucking heard and seen. It's just, I don't know. You don't have to play it, but if you have a time, check it out because it's fucking.
Well, you can't say it's unsettling and then we don't.
It's like this.
Play it.
It's like this Middle Eastern chanting, dude chanting, and this fucking slowly this picture forms, the light goes down and this. I don't even know if it's a demonic fucking bitch holding a baby turns around, dude. It's crazy. It's just fucking. You don't see a lot of videos like that nowadays, especially in the metal realm. It's usually just four assholes playing in a fucking woods somewhere. But
yeah,
they actually, which honestly, it just turns into them playing in a fucking warehouse. All
right, moving on up
is
from
good.
the woods.
Yeah.
Got one
I
light
haven't
bulb.
watched a lot of their videos. Actually, I don't know if I've watched any of their videos, but I've been getting into them quite a bit. They're a fucking heavy ass, cool band.
Are they Swiss?
I don't like the deathcore breakdowns a lot, but when they fucking hit that groove and he starts like rapping,
Yeah.
like metal Swiss rapping, whatever he does, that shit's
Yeah.
fucking pretty gnarly. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like a Whitechapel video. If you've never seen Whitechapel, their videos are fucking great, like incredible. Like when a demon defiles a witch is a fucking incredible video. But yeah,
The
anyway,
witch is
if you like
over.
metal, check it out.
Word. Moving along to Teddy, family life.
Yeah, just been enjoying family life. Me and the wife are doing great. Son's doing great. Been hanging out, doing cool stuff. Like being a dad, like being a husband. And the sex is fantastic. So yeah,
Yeah, man. That's the glue.
can't wait for the vacation next week. It'll be awesome.
Where you go? Where you going now?
Cruise.
Dude, you take more vacations.
Another cruise?
Yeah, you take more
You're
vacations
already going
than-
on another cruise?
You guys knew about this.
I feel like you just got back from the last cruise.
I went on one in June. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
June, give him a break.
Yeah,
Give
that
him
was
a break.
literally like 2.5 months ago.
So where is this cruise going to, like
Where does
North
it leave out
Korea
of?
or what?
Yeah, what dangerous country are you going to now?
Nowhere dangerous, just
Mexico.
relaxing. And all inclusive.
Yeah, we're just going to Honduras and Mexico.
Okay.
Nice. Now, where do you leave out of?
Orlando.
Orlando. Now, do you need your passport then? Because you're leaving out of Orlando, but you're crossing international water.
You can use your birth certificate, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just get a passport.
Yeah. Word.
Oh, that's $150.
Here for that family life. All right, moving on to Ashtray. Fucking got spanking new wheels. Feels sexy now. Just wait a couple months from now. Ashtrays will have it as fuck what you think's goddamn fucking car.
Wait till you
payment.
start having to pay the payments. Yeah,
Fuck it, yeah, exactly. Son of a bitch. Fuck
I had
this.
like 2 months where I didn't have to pay. That was like one of their things, and then the first payment comes up, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it's a
Mm.
kick in the financial balls.
Yeah.
What are the payments? Actually, if you don't mind me
$460 a month. I mean, compared to if you were to finance that, that's the thing too. Is like I didn't know.
Oh,
much
is it a
about
lease?
leasing. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know much about leasing, but the more I was looking into it, especially, really what kind of tipped me because it was a hard sell because I had that kind of old school mentality. What I would always look for is something about 5 years old and less, 50,000 miles or less. And if it's a good model, you get a good run out of that. When you start looking at the interest rates of a used car loan, and how much used car prices have held themselves or gone up since pandemic, it was like, fuck it. If I'm gonna get a monthly payment, if I'm gonna have a monthly payment anyways, and it's like there's so many.
Now, what is
goddamn-
the? Sorry, what's the restrictions on it, mileage wise?
12,000 a year for 3 years.
12,000 isn't bad.
My
long as you
commute to
don't take
work
a
is
lot of
15
vacations
minutes.
with it.
Yeah, it's more like, I mean, I put miles on sometimes when I have a gig that's an hour and a half away on the weekend.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, I'm not going out on long road trips anymore.
Well, 12,000 is what an average person puts on a car every year too.
Yeah. And
You gotta watch though. My daughter's boyfriend leased a Volkswagen, and like they really meticulously check when you bring that fucker back in. So if you're putting equipment in there and shit, like don't
Yeah.
scratch that shit up.
well, that's part of the reason why I went with the Subaru Forester was that the whole back lining of it. I had a RAV4 for 12 years. I thought I'm gonna look at the new RAV4s, and then there's like you see just how much they've. Sure, it looks sleeker and sexier. You don't even have the full spare anymore, but the space in the back, I just just by going and looking at it, I'm like, no way. Like, I'm not going to be able to fit my shit in here. I might be able to cram it in there, but then it's like, it's going to be rubbing and scratching on shit. The Forester has like full like rubber liners, not only through the back, the side wheel wells have rubber liners, and then there's rubber liners in the back of the fold down seats, because I usually leave my seats folded down all the time anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be like an old man and be like, no fucking eating in my car.
You'll have the chance to just buy it too, though, won't you?
Yes, I would have the chance to buy it, but you know, then it would be like comparing the price of buying it, if I really do like it, compared
just
to
getting another lease.
Well, compared to like leasing, yeah, could like just stay in the lease cycle, because the lease cycle also, like I've got the oil changes rolled into it, tire rotation, and the computer upgrades or whatever, and then it's like the lease cycle is also through the manufacturer warranty for all of those fucking stupid things that can go wrong with it that you can't fix yourself anymore these days.
Yeah,
that was part of it. Was just like, I'm sick of taking my car to the mechanic. And also I can't imagine being so frustrated with buying something that's 5 years old and some sensor starts going wrong and the price it costs to take care of that.
Yeah.
There's too much electronics. Yeah. So we'll see. I got 3 years, you know, in 3 years I might be like, fuck that lease thing. I'm going to buy a rusted out Chevy van.
Right.
With liability only.
You're going to end up with an old beat up Chevy van. That's like destiny.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, moving along then to fuck what you think. Oracle's COVID party.
Yep. COVID visited our household for the first time this week.
Now, first time you've had it, or?
So I didn't get it.
First time as a household. Oh, you didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Or if I did, I fought that gay shit off. I was like, get the fuck out of
here. Asymptomatic. Get the fuck out of here.
But my wife definitely got it. Really kicked her fucking ass. One thing that I didn't realize, though, like she was all sick and shit. We were picking apples, and she's like, I'm feeling dizzy. I gotta go inside. I'm like, okay, fine. We go inside. And then,
right, pussy, whatever.
Right. Then I'm like mowing the lawn later on. She comes out. She's like crying and shit. And it was sprinkling a little bit. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just finishing up. She's like, you gotta come inside. And she's like
she was hysterical that you were out in the rain.
Yeah, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? So then we, start.
Jesus, woman, it's a man's job. Sometimes it sprinkles.
Right, just interacting and shit. I was like, what the fuck kind of like cold medicine have you been taking? Like you fucking. Because sometimes, if she takes like NyQuil or something, it'll fuck her up, make her like all loopy.
Yeah.
And, she was just taking like normal, regular. Yeah. Well, for her, it does.
To non-alcoholics, it does. You fucking.
Yeah, right.
Right. But it wasn't that. So it turned out that this fucking COVID was causing like crazy fucking anxiety and shit.
Oh, that was one of the new symptoms they've added?
Yeah. Oh, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I was like, is there like a gas leak in this fucking house or something?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
what the fuck? I honestly...
Iran? Are you watching?
Or were you like, did I take too many mushrooms?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know what was going on because it was just like, what the fuck? Why are you acting this way? But yeah, so not only do you get to feel like complete dog shit, but you get to be crippled by anxiety and depression at the same time. COVID's fucking awesome.
Right?
Yeah. And then we had the whole deal with daycare where they're like, well, if your kid doesn't have it, you could still come in, but we just want to let you know there's some people that are at risk here and all this shit. I was like, don't give me that fucking shit. This probably came from the daycare.
Yeah, exactly. Like, those are cesspools of fucking disease.
Right.
How many people test their infants? when their infants are sick.
Well,
from
you
COVID.
know who else is at risk for fucking COVID? Infants who don't have fucking immune systems yet.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, people.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. If he did get it, he got
Powered
rid of
through
it.
it.
Yeah,
He fought
powered
that
through
shit.
it.
He fought that
You
case
won't
shit
know
off, too.
how it's affected him till he grows older.
Right.
And then I would blame it on COVID back.
Yeah.
Like, why is my kid bouncing off the walls and can't focus? COVID.
COVID. Yep. So COVID still sucks. There you have
Yeah.
it.
All right, moving along to Mystic with his Black Nazi. Nazi?
So, well, I just don't. Mark Robinson, the lieutenant governor of North Carolina, we all saw this, right? I assume that he fucking was posting messages up on this. What was it called? Fucking.
Oh, I just heard
what's
the
the fucking porn site called?
like mom lovers.
Oh,
or something? That was one of them?
grinder or something?
No, it was fucking way worse than that. Anyway, I'll find it here in a second. But he's a black dude, and he's like, one of the comments was that he was a black Nazi.
He's saying that?
Yes, he referred to himself as a black Nazi. Here
That'll
it is.
get you elected.
Yeah. So his comments were gratuitously sexual and lewd in nature. They were made between 2008 and 2012 on Nude Africa, a pornographic website that includes a message board. That's how old this shit was. He was fucking posted on a message board.
How old is this guy? Do we know?
I don't know.
Let's
He
say,
looks
was
pretty
he
old, in his 50s, I assume.
okay? Let's say if he was like 18, punk ass, like
Yeah, it's so.
look how
and
many
he's
people on
denying
camera
it.
for politics.
What's
'cause the
funny
shit
is
they
he's
did.
denying it, and he literally listed his full name on his profile for Nude Africa, as well as an email address he used on numerous websites across the internet for
Oh
decades.
my god!
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh no, it's a fucking hack. They're trying to fucking, it's
Is
a
he
political
running for
fucking
governor?
job." All this shit. Yeah, he's running for governor. He's like the lieutenant governor right now.
How did they not find this till now? He got to lieutenant governor with vetting.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's actually, or they knew about it and someone finally leaked it.
So and one of the things he posted under the username Mini Soldier on Nude Africa, Robinson graphically described his own sexual arousal as an adult from the memory of secretly peeping on women in public gym showers as a 14-year-old.
Wow!
It had peak fucking
I
All
came,
right. Full diary.
all done. It's something.
I came to a spot that was a dead end, but had two big vent covers over it. It just so happened it overlooked the showers. I sat there for about an hour and watched as several girls came in and showered. I went peeping again.
Just like Nazis do.
I went back to the ladder was locked. So
Oh man.
Somebody locked him in.
And here's another one. I like watching tranny on girl porn. That's fucking hot. It takes the man out while leaving the man in.
Can you imagine if you were working on this guy's campaign?
Yeah, right. You wouldn't know any of this until it blew up. and you're like,
Didn't you
"Oh."
see that? Like 5 or 6 people quit.
I
Like the
mean,
next
well,
day.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, like I don't want to be associated with you because those people who work on campaigns, it's a weird career because like you are constantly jumping. It's like it's like a gig in a way.
Shit, am I going to find
So-
it, bro?
Teddy's gonna love this comment. Probably not. If you do, that's kind of disgusting. Anyway, in another thread, commenters considered whether to believe the story of a woman who said she was raped by her taxi driver while intoxicated. In response, Robinson wrote, "And the moral of this story, don't fuck a white bitch."
Jesus.
Oh my god.
That'll get you elected. Oh my god. I wish I
Yeah.
knew how old he was when he was
Yeah,
saying
these
this
are some
too.
pretty bad optics.
Sounds like
He's
shit.
in his
was saying.
50s. He's in his
Okay.
50s. So I mean, this was in.
he would have been
This is like
in
what
his-
13.
30s.
Oh man.
2008. So that was like what, 18 years ago, 16 years
Yeah.
ago.
So late 30s, early 40s. Like, yeah, if he was in politics, old enough to know better.
You
He's
all are
56. It
we live in
says.
a country that has free speech.
I wonder what he was doing, like what his career was at the time.
I don't know, but what the fuck, man?
Anyways, also like you think by this point he's getting up to lieutenant governor. Like you better clean
Yeah,
that
you
shit
think-
up, boy.
Yeah, like nobody's figured
shit.
this before.
It'd be like if I was, I still have my old Hotmail account tied to things that I probably wouldn't want to have on my record if I was running for
Right.
politics.
Yeah, no shit.
And people would also laugh at me for having a Hotmail.
Yeah, I still have a Hotmail. I still use that bitch for fucking
too.
any junk shit.
It's
I
my
want.
junk. Yeah, it's my junk folder.
Absolutely, dude. I don't even check it.
But I
just
still
use
go
it
through.
like
I
shit.
still go through it for receipts because there are some in there.
Oh.
But, anyways, moving along. Look at Teddy, fucking vape.
All right, so I'm going on a cruise here, and I didn't want to make a run up to St. Louis to get some stuff. So I ordered from a little buddy, and I said I want something inconspicuous. All right, I need some vapes because he didn't have any cards. So I want something inconspicuous. All right. So he sends me these little things. Right. This is how inconspicuous this shit is. Watch this.
Inconspicuous.
Oh, I'm looking at the fucking delay list.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Still lighting up.
I was like, you motherfucker.
That's hilarious.
You're glowing like a disco.
And you're like $20. He sent me like 10 of them.
Oh, that's fucking
Dude,
great.
Yeah, I was sending them back. Like, fuck.
No, I'm just gonna drain the oil out into a.
Oh, that's ambitious of you.
I've done it before. It's not hard.
Fuck it, just
I don't
smoke
have
it
the
on the
time.
ship. Who gives a shit?
It was like inconspicuous.
they
Like
really
if you're
care?
indoors and you don't want people to notice that you're vaping, it's like you're all of a sudden it's like, wow, that guy's glowing.
But what I'm saying is, are you gonna just use it in your room? Just use it in your room. Take some edibles.
No. You're gonna vape outside. I understand,
Alright.
Teddy.
Thank you.
All right, then.
Holy shit. I'm gonna
Sometimes
go
you need just a little
back-
puff,
You gotta roll
get my vape.
punches, man. You gotta
like
adapt.
a rebel.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
You a shit.
Yeah, whatever.
I wholeheartly support you and also agree that like fuck man, that's like you're like a glowing beacon. Like, oh, it's like a fucking lighthouse
Say,
during a hurricane.
say you're getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Wow, it does look like a glow stick.
Your dog's
Yes,
even.
it sticks out like a look how it's changing colors like the goddamn rings from fucking Mordor. Like,
Yeah.
Holy
oh,
shit.
there's your dog.
This shit's going off the rails. Like,
All right, moving along.
I don't know what the
Wrap
fuck
this
that means.
You know, I think it was the gemstones of Thanos. I think I got that mixed up with
Yep.
yeah, I think you did.
what a fucking shitty ass nerd Ashtray is.
Yep.
So my fuck what you think was the pyro picnic this year was actually like fucking shit started on fire.
Crank it up. Take it to the next level.
So it's like I can't get power. Like as soon as I plug, like I don't even have anything running to draw power, but it's like I just plug in my strips, my power conditioner, and it's like the little like breaker on the it's like a big panel of outlets that's then hooked up to this fuck off generator. Yeah, it just kept tripping. Like I was like, fuck, I don't even have anything turned on. Finally got it where it's like, all right, well, the light's staying on. This is like the fourth or fifth time where it's like, all right, we're already late for music. And it's just the way live events goes, right? Like trying to figure shit out. This is a good fucking lesson.
What were you up here laughing at?
Because once I finally got it to where it's like, all right, well, the light's staying on for the, like it didn't just trip just because I plugged it in. That's all it took. I just plugged in the power strip. Basically, I'm like, is my power strip fucked? Tried plugging other shit in. All of a sudden, it's like, all right, the power's going through. And then my mixer, thank God it wasn't my DJ mixer, but it was a live mixer on the side that I have. And It's smoking, like smoke's coming out of the seams. I was just like, oh fuck, that ain't good. It's like quick, yank the power. It's like, oh fuck. And at first I thought maybe like was that power strip because it kept tripping? Was it a bad power strip? And then turns out someone on the other end of the fucking block, their kiln, one of the glass blowers, his kiln blew up.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the generator was like pushing too much power. Right? And so thank God I had not like my laptop, my DJ mixer, and my actual power amp. Like they were plugged in, but they weren't turned on. And so once we were finally, I basically ran power off of the barbecue truck next to me. And shout out to Joanne. And turns out I fried my live mixer, my compressor, because there's no real power button on that. And then the actual unit, the power conditioner, where I'm like, this thing should have stopped the fucking power. I think it was stopping the power every time. It was stopping the surge. And like we kept trying to be like, why is there getting no power? We just like kept surging it. It finally blew through. So yeah, about $650 worth of equipment. But my buddy's cutting me a check. Got it, unordered. It's just kind of one of those like, oh fuck, it could have been way worse. Like if my laptop got fried. I'm no longer a DJ.
I mean, the irony of pyro.
I know, exactly. That's what we had to laugh at. We're like, fuck. Like, lesson learned that like this just ain't like if it keeps tripping, like just stop.
It's probably tripping for a reason.
And of course, it's
right.
It's one of those generators where you rent it from a big company, but then there's like 1-800 hotline on a Saturday for your event to call for technical service, and it's like he's on the, he was on the phone for probably an hour and a half or so till they finally got someone from the company come down to like set it right. The local electrician he uses comes over and he's like, for everything I'm seeing, it looks right, but also we're like, nobody plug your shit in yet. Anyways, good lesson learned. If the electricity ain't working right, just stop. Plug something simple in.
You remember when you bought that new Galen Kruger fucking rig, Oracle, and then you plugged this shit in, plugged the head in, and started playing, and that fucking bottom cabinet just lit on fire. We're like, what the fuck? Paid all this money for that. That shit was fucking sounding so good.
Yeah.
Until it caught on fire.
Literally caught on fire.
How long did you have it before it caught on fire?
Like a day.
Damn.
Not even. Yeah, like he had gotten it and then just set it up. Yeah, brand new. Out of the box.
And blew it out.
Damn.
There you go.
That's no indictment to GK. Great company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, in all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Dave Grohl's new baby. Nah, I'm kidding. That poor baby don't even know what kind of a shit
baby
show
don't know. Yeah, right?
I know. No, go fuck yourself, Dave Grohl. I don't know why. He's just like one of those guys I just never really liked. He's got a punchable face.
I think he'd be cool to party with, man.
Punchable. Oh, I'm sure. And he's got that weird, like, I'm the Keanu Reeves of rock and roll music. Like,
yeah. He's
like, man, you're fucking this.
That's really good, actually. I like that. I'm the Keanu Reeves of rock and roll.
Yeah. Meanwhile, doesn't even Keanu Reeves have a band? He's probably like, fuck you, Dave Grohl.
Yeah. Dog Star plays bass.
Yeah. Anyways, that's our show. We're going to be here every mostly Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure to join the conversation at theredditreport.com or facebook.com/redditreport. You can't X us because I'm the Ashtray.
I'm Markle.
I'm Mystic.
Did Teddy drop off?
I did not drop off.
Here.
He's on a cruise, bitch. He's on a boat.
He's on a boat.
And this is the Reddit Report.